In this video, I'm going to be tuning this adorable little tiny violin. So when you have a student who's playing a small size violin like this, we are probably not going to get it perfectly in tune the way that you will once your student is bowing more skillfully. So we're going to be tuning this as a parent by plucking the strings, and we're going to get it really as close as we will need to for your lessons. So you can use, to get your A tuner. I like to use this cork tuner because it's loud and I can hear my own violin over it, but you can use any tuner that gives an A. So if you can hear that sounds a little bit low. If you can't hear that, then that's okay. I'm going to show you another way to find it. So just to double check that you know that this is the E, the A, the D, and the G. So if you can't hear it at all, we're going to use this tuner. This tuner is called Tonal Energy, and it's an app. It's not free, but it's totally worth the amount that they charge for it. So on this app, put your settings over here. You have these choices if you touched this part. And I've set it here to strings. And I put wide because I want this to give us a more approximate pitch. And then I also want it fast because we're going to be plucking the string. So it's going to have to grab the note quickly. So I'm hitting done. And then when you pluck your string, it's going to tell you down here what note it hears. I can't do everything at once. So you can see that it's closest to A, but then in the middle, you can see that you're not getting that green happy face yet, and that you can see a little flat sign. That's the flat sign. That means that the note is too low. So I'm going to put this down so you can't see it, but I'm going to be showing you what you're going to do here, and I will be watching the tuner. Since it's just showing you the A, but it's just flat, we're going to use the fine tuners. So make sure that you find the tuner that's attached to the string you're tuning, and to make it higher, if we have a flat sign, then we're going to turn it clockwise. So we want to be plucking while we're turning because we don't want to go too far past. So I'm going to pluck so I can hear it, or so that the tuner can hear it, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Here we go. I have this resting on my knee for stability. And then for plucking, and for these tiny instruments, this is about as good as you're going to get on the tuner, where you get that happy face, the green happy face. So that's good how that is. Now let's say that you are tuning, one of the strings is way off. So I'm going to just sabotage this string, and let's say that for your D string, you went to play it and it was like this. I mean, you can tell that that's not in tune. So again, we don't want to just turn the peg because it could break your string, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to be turning while we pluck. I usually face it away from me in case it does break, Sometimes these violins have old strings on them, which if they do, I do recommend that you get new strings for your violin. And I'm going to just turn it as little as I can. So you can see now it's up to an A, almost, and we're going to keep going until so now I'm getting the D. So if you see that number 4 next to it, that's the octave. So you want to get the D to be the D4. So, all right, so now you can see, let's see. Is it all right, we're just going to go higher with the fine tuner now. So you can see that I have passed it. I couldn't see what this was showing me, so I just went higher. It passed it. It's going up to E flat now. Of course, a farther letter in the alphabet is a higher note. So I'm going to use a fine tuner now. And move that. So I can see a happy face. So that is what I'm going to use for that, and then you're going to get your G in tune. And let's see what's happening with the G. These little violins, sometimes the pitch is a little funky. So we're just going to do the best we can, but I just don't want you to show up to the lesson and then it's so far off the student can't tell what they're playing and we have to spend the lesson tuning. So let's see where the G is. And this G on this violin is a little funky. I'm going to go a little higher. It's showing both. So as long as you get that, it's saying G here. And you can see the G is in the 3rd octave. So, and then let's just do the E string too to be thorough. And you can see the E is in the 5th octave. So you can see that's just saying E. So I'm going to use the fine tuner here. And I'll go a little bit higher. And I really want to keep plucking and plucking and plucking like that so that you can see, because it's going to be just a tiny bit that it's going to have to move before it gets in tune. So I hope this is helpful. When your student starts bowing, it can be so great for them to draw the bow while you're tuning. And then you can readjust the settings. Remember these settings here, and if you change that to if you're going to be bowing, then you don't want it to be so fast. You put it at normal, and then if it gets really easy, once it gets easy, move this to be more picky in terms of your range of in tune. So again, the name of this app is Tonal Energy, and if you have any questions, let me know. I will see you in your lesson.